All right, folks, we have an XRP case decision incoming. I'm not going to call it the conclusion. I'm not going to call it the final decision because I don't want to trigger anybody, but we most definitely do have a decision to be made. It's on Judge Torres' desk right now, and we could very well get an answer on this case settling up between the SEC and Ripple in the next week. So it's Saturday, June 14th, 2025. Flag Day, the birthday of our president, Donald J. Trump, and also a day where some people are going to be doing some other things. Hey, this is a free country, so whatever you're into, let's just stay safe out there and continue to pray for peace. Very serious situation taking place right now, but I want to get into this and how well the markets are holding up with all things considered. Let's take a look at it, starting off with oil right now. Now, real quick, I'm recording this. It's almost 8 o'clock here on the West Coast, Saturday morning. Things have been pretty quiet through the night, like through our night. But we are looking at Israel right now declaring a state of emergency and, no sirens going off right now. But I'm worried about what's going to take place over this weekend. But as it stands right now, everything is holding up really well. Oil did break out, right? If you zoom out on oil, we definitely did spike up here to $77 per barrel. We definitely broke out of a trend line that I just drew here this morning. But to give you guys a little bit of a reference point, right? This oil went all the way up to $130 per barrel at the breakout of the Ukraine-Russia war. So we are still nowhere near that level and nowhere near a level where we really start to break things down. Now, I'm not saying that that's not possibly going to happen, right? The big thing that I'm wondering, and I'll show you here on this one, Iran is claiming that they're going to be shutting down the Strait of Hormuz. I haven't seen any confirmation of that yet, though, right? So if this does take place, oil could shoot up over $100 per barrel, overnight, right? So that is definitely still a possibility. We have to see if they actually do end up shutting it down or if this is just them talking tough. But this move poses a serious threat to global oil and gas supply chains, as over 20% of the world's oil passes through the strait daily. So we'll have to watch this one closely, but as it stands right now, oil did break out, but not enough to break everything down with it. And we're just going to have to continue to pray for peace. Same thing with the US dollar Japanese yen pairing. I know we've been watching this reverse carry trade unwind, really started to break down in August. You see that happen right here. And right before that, we peaked up at $162 to Japanese yen. Still nowhere near those breakout levels. Now, we still are already, kind of down low here, Japanese yen against the dollar, but we'll just have to continue to watch this one because nothing's really broken so far. We shift over to the crypto markets, and for Bitcoin, you see here, we didn't even drop below the Elon Musk, Donald Trump feud that we had just a week ago. Zoom in on this chart for you guys a little bit, and you can see what I'm talking about. This was the Donald Trump, Elon Musk are having a bad day red candle, and we still did not go below that level with the breakout of a war, which hopefully does not spread any further, and hopefully this wraps up and concludes very soon. But as it stands right now, we are holding up really well. XRP still above $2, well above $2, and we did not go below that Elon Musk, Donald Trump red candle day either. We only went down to 208 for XRP, so a higher low. Holding structure at 216.5 as we record this update. What I'm worried about, though, and the reason why I put out the update yesterday, and this is the final time that I'm going to use the word final shakeout, because it really is. Like this war, this event, this is the last card that they have to play to push things down, to suppress things before we get stablecoin legislation, market structure bill, big beautiful bill, case conclusion, SEC versus Ripple, and XRP ETFs live. These are all inevitabilities, like 100% guaranteed that we're essentially going to get all of those things this year. Right? The big beautiful bill, maybe not, but pretty much everything else is a guaranteed. We're going to get stablecoin. We're going to get market structure bill, probably going to get a version of the big beautiful bill, 2 to 5 trillion going to be added to our deficit. And SEC versus Ripple case is going to come to a conclusion this year. And then the spot ETFs are going to be live by Q3 of this year. These are inevitabilities. And so this is why I titled the video yesterday, Final Shakeout. And I just made one last plea for everybody to understand what's taking place. It's not like we're not going to have no pullbacks in the future. We're going to have pullbacks. We're going to have shakeouts. But like, this is the last big one. But if that is a triggering word for you, then just ignore that I called it the final shakeout, right? I don't want to upset anybody, okay? We're going to continue to watch it here, folks, because this is the external chaos taking place with the war going on. Internal chaos as well. We have this one from Jim Walsh. If you're looking to make some money in Seattle, hey, a little dollar will make you holla. How about $500? We need some demonstrators down in Seattle. Little Craigslist ad, 4 hours of work, $500. Hey, not too bad. I'm actually going to be traveling down through Seattle, believe it or not. I don't know what we're doing here, but I got a family event to attend, and so we actually are going to be passing through Seattle today. I'll let you guys know. Maybe I'll have some coverage live from the streets. We're going to be trying to pass on through very quickly. We won't be stopping in Seattle, but I was thinking of maybe stepping aside, doing a little demonstration, make a quick little buck, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. But serious, all jokes aside, let's stay safe out there. I already saw a demonstration in one of my local nearby towns just yesterday. We were taking the family over to my cousin's birthday, 6-year-old birthday party. And we're going into the event, and we got all these people out participating in their right to protest. And I'm all here for it, as long as we stay safe. That's what it's all about. So keep your head on a swivel, stay safe this weekend, and stay liquid, because we have low liquidity over the weekends. It's a nice time, especially if things are popping off in the Middle East or somewhere. The market makers, this is going to be pushed down dramatically. So I'm not saying that we're in the clear yet, definitely not in the clear, but understand that this might be your last good opportunity to get in on these assets before that V-shaped recovery takes place. Further economic data to, basically reiterate the point here. The labor market is softening. Initial jobless claims came at 248,000 for the week ending June 7th, the highest reading since October 2024. The highest number of claims were reported in California, Minnesota, and Pennsylvania. As a result, the 4-week moving average rose to 240,000, the highest since August 2023. Meanwhile, the number of people receiving jobless benefits soared to 1.96 million, the highest since November 2021. Excluding 2020 and 2021 recovery, this was the highest reading since February of 2018. The labor market is clearly weakening. And this is why, when you add in war, when you add in the weakening jobs market, the only thing working against the interest rate cut would be inflation rising back up, right? Ideally, we would hold rates here or even raise rates further to battle the inflation. But we didn't go up as high as expectations, but we are heading that way. So inflation's working against us getting a rate cut. But this might be the perfect excuse and cover for Jerome Powell to say, we're not giving President Trump a rate cut because he wants it. We're giving you a rate cut because war broke out and because the labor market is softening. Right? That would be the reason. And really, this post right here from Nagato, Crypto Nagato on X, I think summarizes the situation very well. He says, maybe I'm a bit crazy. And he says, I am. And we definitely are crazy in the XRP community, aren't we? He says, maybe I'm the only one who sees things this way. But I honestly think that what has happened over the past year has been purposely orchestrated to make people lose hope in the digital asset industry. That's the typical behavior that market makers adopt right before something giant happens, like stablecoin legislation, market structure bill, big beautiful bill, SEC versus Ripple case over, and XRP spot ETFs going live. Yeah. You probably know my take. I believe this industry will experience some sort of a .com bubble. And to be honest, if you actually try to look a bit deeper, it already seems so obvious to me. Let's see how it goes. Maybe I'm just crazy, as I said, but if not, I'm pretty sure you'd want to stick around. And I'm seeing in the comments people that did full panic, people that did full clip out of their bags of cryptocurrency, not just XRP, but others, because of the events that just took place. The dangerous part about doing that is if it doesn't continue, if this thing concludes up here shortly, and you sold off your bag thinking it's the end of the world and we're going down to 50 cents again for XRP, and you don't get back in. I already saw some people saying I sold off my whole bag at $2.09. Well, that was our most recent local bottom. Not saying that we're in the clear and that we might not go lower. I just worry about playing that game. What I did is I took my leverage off the table. I had just a little bit right in my Coinbase futures. I was in my XRP long. I closed that out at $2.28. That's when you wanted to get out. It was up at nearly 230 before crap hit the fan. But hey, I'm just sounding the alarm that this is all lining up. All these catalysts, bullish catalysts specifically for XRP2, are right around the corner. And it just is perfectly timed here, this event, to distract and to get you out. And here's the other thing too. It's not just the events distracting, it's the Main Street economy weakening. Just like I read off with the jobs numbers, I've been pounding my table here about our economy being weak going back since 2022. I've been sounding the alarm about preparing for this exact moment of a weak economy back home while we enter a global conflict. Some people don't like that I'm calling it World War III. Okay, we don't have to call it World War III. Call it whatever you want. This is the exact moment that we've been preparing for. It's game time now. All of this taking place right before what happens? We roll over to a new financial system. The FedWire Fund Service migration is coming soon. ISO 222 for FedWire, FedNow services, July 14th. We're flipping that switch. This is exactly what I'm talking about. And the whales, well, they know what they're doing. 3.3 billion in Bitcoin flows into long-term HODL wallets. 30,784 Bitcoin added in one day as whales accumulate near all-time highs per CryptoQuant.com. That's how the game's played, you know, and we've seen this time and time again, that buying these flash crashes and these dips during big geopolitical events always plays out well. Every single time. As long as the world doesn't end, we are going to bounce back. And I'm telling you that the bullish catalyst that we have on the other side of this thing send assets like XRP a lot higher. You want a catalyst? SEC officially withdraws multiple regulatory proposals, including the expanded custody rule, Rule 3B16 for DeFi exchanges, and enhanced ESG reporting requirements from the Gensler era. So you're not going to have to give us an environmental report on your crypto. What are we doing out here, right? It's all gone. It's all scrapped. Get rid of it. Gone. Now we have 8 public companies that are making commitments of upwards close to $1 billion of XRP corporate treasury reserves. Cowboy Crypto doing what he does best. Great research over here. He's looking into this company, Singapore-based Trident Digital, which announced their plan to raise $500 million to establish the world's first large-scale corporate XRP reserve. Apparently, a company called Chaince Securities is heading up the initiative to assist Trident in raising $500 million for their XRP treasury. Chaince Securities is a subsidiary of Mercurity Fintech Holding, BlackRock, Goldman Sachs, UBS Group, AG Millennium Management, Cube Research and Technologies, and Point72 Asia are investors in the Mercurity parent company. You know, it's funny. I just had a one-on-one yesterday with a community member who actually used to work at BlackRock, and he said that he couldn't confirm anything. But he did say that there's no way, you know, just being within the belly of the beast within BlackRock, he said there's no way that they don't have an XRP ETF on the way. These guys will do anything to make money. And I agree with him. And it's just funny to see all of these investors in all of these other companies that have in some way partnered up with Ripple, are working with XRP, BlackRock and Larry Fink. He won't say anything publicly about XRP, but they make sure that they got their bets placed, right? Their chips are placed and definitely out on the table. Now, speaking of placing your bets, you guys tell me about this, but the reason why I'm sharing this is because all of this locks up, burns XRP and makes it more scarce. All of this leads to a supply shock, whether it be companies building out XRP corporate treasuries, whether it be the spot ETFs, whether it be me and you, Joe Blow, stacking our little bags of XRP and burying it in the backyard, or whether it be these degens, which are absolutely crazy and out of their mind, spending 5,984 XRP for a fuzzy bear. This is not a joke. Let me make sure you get the full picture there of the fuzzy bear. This is our reality. Almost 6,000 XRP on a fuzzy bear. That's 6,000 XRP that can't be used in a corporate treasury, can't be used in cross-border payments, can't be used for supplying liquidity for stablecoins like RLUSD, USDC, and now we have over 5 solid tier 1 stablecoins on the XRP ledger. we can't use this 6,000 XRP for that liquidity because it's locked up in a fuzzy bear, for crying out loud. And I say, let the degens do what the degens do. The fuzzy bros, absolutely delusional about their conspiracies and the riddles that they're making up for the fuzzy thing, but God bless them. Go spend 6,000 on a fuzzy bear. They're not, and that wasn't the only one too. These guys are crazy. Lock it up, burn it, activity, motion. I'm here for it. You want to believe in crazy fuzzy bear riddles? I believe in fuzzy bear riddles too, but my beliefs are a little bit different. But to each their own. God bless you. Go spend 6,000 XRP on a fuzzy. That's where we're at. Now, as I titled this episode, we're here. Make no mistake about it. We are right here. A decision now sits on Judge Torres' desk. Here we go. Ashley Prosper. It took 1 week for Judge Torres to deny the party's request the last time around. Therefore, we shouldn't wait too long. Honestly, she could rule on this within a couple days. I hope she grants it this time. Now, we are all hoping and praying that she grants it this time. Accepting the settlement agreement between the SEC and Ripple, Ripple will pay $50 million to the SEC, $75 million plus interest will be returned back to Ripple, and that injunction that was placed on Ripple saying that, hey, you guys don't violate Section 5 again, would be lifted. Now, here is what John Dean has to say. He did an episode this morning. It's on Crypto Law TV. And what is it? Crypto Law US is the Twitter handle. I'm going to play this clip here. This is the ending of it, where he shares his prediction on whether or not Judge Torres is going to accept this settlement. You guys listen in here real quick on this one.
We want the settlement to go forward, and we think you should do it. But ultimately, I'm going to predict that she grants it. And the reason I predict that she grants it is because that there is enough case law there where it says, look, Ripple's not going to drop their appeal. So if you don't grant this, if you don't give us an indicative ruling that you will dissolve your injunction and reduce the fine to $50 million, Ripple won't drop their appeal. And that will tie up the Second Circuit in a big way. And there's Second Circuit case law that says that that's good enough reason, okay, with saving the resources and your court judge. If you get overturned on the secondary market sales, for example, it's coming back to you and tying this courtroom up in the massive resources. And who would want to do with that when you look at where the world and America is headed in this asset class? You know, I think ultimately she's going to take that all into consideration, and that she's going to say, yes, let's move on and grant the
Yeah. So basically, you know, and he commented about how himself and Fred Rispoli, another trusted XRP community member and lawyer, both commented on how they thought it was kind of a weak submission by the SEC and Ripple. But ultimately, he does think that it will be accepted by Judge Torres, because if it's not, like you said, Ripple will go through with their appeal. They'll be kind of basically forced to. And it's going to, you know, end up coming back to Judge Torres after it gets sent back. It's just going to keep the courts tied up here for quite some more time. And so he does believe that it's very likely. So I'm not going to interject my prediction. I'm not going to say that this is the final decision. I'm not going to say that it's the final shakeout anymore. I used that for the last time. We are going to experience pullbacks, and we are going to experience more shakeouts. But the point that I've been trying to get across to you guys, this is the final moment before the SEC versus Ripple case is over. The spot ETFs go live. Stablecoin legislation, market structure bill, and big beautiful bill make that money printer go burr, baby. Please lock in. Please stay safe. Keep your head on a swivel. Stay liquid. Have your orders placed and ready to go, and then we can sit back and pray. That's all we can do right now. I'm gonna go join my Discord weekly call here this morning. If you guys are looking to get tapped in with that, it's at my website, zachrector.com. You sign up through Patreon to get access to Discord. We'd love to have you in the family. We do these weekly calls every Saturday at 11:30 a.m. Eastern. And I'm going to go update them on some of my trades that I'm currently in. Okay? We'll see you guys in the next one on the way out. Please help us out. God bless you all. We'll see you. Stay safe.
I am your host, Zach Rector. I really appreciate all of the love and support. If you want to support the channel, just remember that you can start by smashing that thumbs up for me, sharing this content far and wide, and everything else is at my website.